Rachel Meyer, who was part of an organization that I think you'll find interesting. It's called Mom's Clean Air Force. Rachel, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So how did you become, and I assume you're a mom if you're part of Mom's Clean Air Force. Uh, how large is this group? Where did it start and how did you get involved?
Yeah. Mom's Clean Air Force is a community of over 1.6 million parents united against air and climate pollution to protect our children's health. And moms, as we call it for short, um, I got involved because I live in Beaver County, and there had been the pipeline that exploded over in Center, and that got me concerned about what was going on with all of the natural gas development in the area. And that was about the time that Shell, which is now called, we call it the cracker plants, now called Shell Polymers Monaca by the company. And they were ramping up, getting ready to start their operations. And so I was able to put the details together and realize that this is going to cause more of this build out as they are fracking for the natural gas that they need to produce the polyethylene pellets, the plastic that the plant produces and ships out. And so from just reaching out to some different organizations, including the local Beaver County Marcellus Awareness community, local nonprofit, learned more and was able to then get involved with Mom's Clean Air Force, which actually is based in Washington, D.C. As a mother of a 6-year-old, this is very meaningful work for me.
And what kind of reaction? I would imagine because they are going to ramp up, as we know, extraction of gas with the current administration. So it seemed like a lot of things were coming together at the same time for you, particularly in Beaver County.
Yes. And can you repeat your question?
Yeah, the combination of the plant opening, the train derailment, and the subsequent release of chemicals and the extraction of natural gas, you suggested that that's what motivated you to get involved. But what kind of
Correct.
reaction have you been getting from local authorities?
Um, I mean, we talked to a lot of lawmakers, we talked to a lot of local elected officials, and there is a lot of concern growing. Now that the plant has been operating and has had, I think there's been about almost 90 malfunctions. They've had at least 46 notices of violation for exceeding chemical limits. And a lot of these chemicals are hazardous air pollutants. They certainly contribute to cardiovascular and respiratory disease and can contribute to cancer. So a lot of people are very concerned. Um, it isn't what we originally thought it would be, right? There were a lot of promises made to the community. Um, and not only has there been a lot of very concerning malfunctions contributing to the petrochemical pollution across the region, as you mentioned, it's not just Shell. There's other facilities where, even when there's not a disaster such as East Palestine, and even when there's not a malfunction, every day we're being exposed to harmful chemicals polluting our air, contributing to higher asthma rates, higher cardiovascular and respiratory disease and cancer. So there's that. And now, it's come out that really our economy has not improved from this plant being here. There was a report that came out a few months ago from the Institute for Energy and Economics and Financial Analysis, IEFA, which basically, said the long-term viability of the Shell Polymers Monaca plant is in question. So, we locally are not seeing the economical benefits, and people who are experts in the area are saying, yeah, there's some problems here. There's first of all, it took twice as much to build the plant as it was estimated, and it's been underperforming. It became operational in November 2022. and it didn't become fully functional until 2024. Additionally, there's a low demand, there's an oversupply of plastic on the market. So, despite,
but you
yeah,
realize though, after they spent billions of dollars, that plant's not going anywhere. So
yeah.
the remedy is to get accountability for what is being put into the air. What are you hearing from local elected officials? What are they going to do about it?
Um,
Doesn't sound like you're hearing much from them.
no, there's an opportunity there was a consent order agreement from the Department of Environmental Protection because of all the violations. Shell was fined 5 million, and then also they were required to put 5 million into community mitigation projects that would help different environmental projects and different community projects. So there was that $10 million fine. And so, we think that certainly that could be a possibility. It would make sense for Shell to be fined again in that way. Of course, that's a drop in the bucket for such a, huge corporation like Shell. But we do ask for accountability in that way, and that may be a possibility. We also have the opportunity to comment. The Title V permit and another one of their operating permits are coming up. So that certainly is a way that we can make our voices heard and ask for greater protections and better monitoring to lead to more accountability. So that process is in place. And that's a way that people can definitely get involved too.
Well, I'll be curious again. I want to hear what lawmakers are telling you. So appreciate the time this morning, Rachel. Thank you.
Thank you.
Rachel Meyer, who is part of Mom's Clean Air Force